Welcome back to the North Florida Wrestling Show. My name's Jason Weslager, and I'm your host. Today's episode's a very special one, and I'm genuinely honored to be a part of it. I get to sit down with two really amazing wrestlers, two of the top-ranked ones in our spring series, ages 11, Levi Siegel, and age 13, Miles Rinkas, both of whom have been diagnosed with high-functioning autism. Their stories are powerful, their focus is unmatched, and their love for the sport is addictive. Now, before we dive into their interviews, I want to lay a little groundwork with some research that helps explain just how and why wrestling is such an incredible fit for athletes on the spectrum. They show that individuals with autism often exhibit a trait known as hyperfocus, the ability to intensely concentrate on a single task or subject for long periods of time. There's also something called monotropism, which refers to a cognitive style where attention is funneled into narrow but deep channels of interest. These traits aren't just common, they're actually strengths, and in wrestling, they can become superpowers. The sport's structure, repetition, and strategic depth provide the perfect environment for somebody who thrives on routine, clarity, and mastery. Wrestling gives them something to pour themselves into fully, and they do, with incredible results. It's not just the physical side of things. Wrestling also provides a structured form of social interaction, helping athletes build relationships in a one-on-one, less overwhelming setting, opportunities for personal growth, boosting confidence, resilience, and helping them navigate challenges both on and off the mat. And from a sensory perspective, the physical nature of wrestling can actually aid with sensory integration, giving these athletes more comfort and control over their bodies and environments. We're going to touch on all that in today's very special episode, and we'll hear firsthand from Levi and Miles on how wrestling has helped shape them and given them purpose, routine, and joy. So let's jump into it. This is our new podcast called Wrestling on the Spectrum. Levi, Miles, it's awesome to have you guys here. For those of you that don't know, Levi is part of my club, Grappling House, and Miles is Niceville Wrestling Academy. Where do you go to high school, or where do you go to? Where do you wrestle in during the season?
Rocky Bayou.
Rocky Bayou. Okay. Levi, how old are you, and how long have you been wrestling, bud?
Been wrestling for about 2 years and
2.5 years.
Yeah.
Cool. How old are you?
13.
And how long have you been wrestling, Miles?
About 2.5 or 3 years.
Yeah. So let's start out with, what is your favorite part about wrestling?
My favorite part about wrestling is making friends, being humble, and it's fun to have. It's fun to have winning matches.
Okay.
But it's also okay to lose.
Yeah. You touched on something there. The fun thing is what keeps most kids in this, and it's just a really fun sport to learn. Agreed?
Yeah.
Miles, what about you?
My favorite thing about wrestling is winning matches, learning moves.
Yeah, winning matches is fun.
Yeah,
What's your favorite move right now?
firemen.
Fireman's carry? What's your favorite? Go.
Fireball, like,
Oh, okay. Awesome. And what about you?
Leg riding.
Leg riding? What do you like to do from leg riding? Powerhouse?
Powerhouse, yeah.
I think I've seen you do a banana split or a spladle or two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to get crossed by sometimes a cradle from it. Getting
Scoring points from cradles and smashes and all that stuff.
getting
Awesome.
back point.
And so accomplishment-wise, I think a lot of people out there probably know these two names, but currently our Panhandle Spring Series is going on. We're through 2 events. Levi is sitting at a perfect 16-0 on the series. I think at least 12 or so of those are pins, so pretty dominant. He's actually leading the whole series at number 1 overall. And then Miles is sitting at 12 wins, 5 losses for the series. I would venture to guess probably 10 or so of those are pins. And he is ranked number 2. So one of the reasons I think this episode is really awesome is it's Autism Awareness Month, and literally in this growing region that we have over here that's starting to get a lot of recognition statewide, the 2 top kids right now are high-functioning autism. And so part of wanting to do this podcast and the reasoning behind it is just to spread awareness that there is a link between individuals who have high-functioning autism and wrestling helping them in various different ways. So a lot of people who are autistic say that they are able to focus in on certain things. They get kind of a narrow, kind of tunnel vision on what they want to achieve. Have you guys found that with wrestling? Is that kind of is that what you attribute to getting so good so quickly?
So much.
Yeah. It's just super fun for you and you really just enjoy it?
Yeah.
Got it. Do you think about the same, Miles? Awesome. So another characteristic of autism is the idea that repetition and wanting to do things over and over and over again makes you really good at something. Do you guys enjoy the process of practicing, or do you much prefer live wrestling?
Sometimes whenever I'm practicing something that I know very well, I like to get better at what I've achieved. And sometimes I love live wrestling, but I like doing the moves that I just have learned.
Yeah.
Same as like leg riding, sometimes shots.
So you like to mix it up a little bit with your wrestling?
Yeah.
And like practicing like moves I learned, like radars.
Yeah. So how quickly would you say, let's say you learn a move on a Wednesday, do you think that you could hit that move in a tournament on a Saturday? Or does it normally take you a little bit of time and repetition to get something down to where you feel comfortable with that?
It takes me about like 4 days.
It depends on the move.
Yeah. Which then also depends how much you really like the move too. Let's say we're in a wrestling match and it's a match that you think that you probably should win, or you've pinned the kid before, but something unexpected happens. Maybe you get headlocked in the first period and you find yourself down set. What kind of happens when unexpected things happen on the wrestling mat? How does your thought process change?
I find out ways to get out of it. Say they have a headlock, but one of them is the wrist. I would kind of let go of the wrist, just get myself back and get on top.
Awesome. About you?
So
let's say something unexpected happened that you weren't really anticipating happening. You find it tough to fight back and reframe your mind, or is it pretty roll with the punch for you?
I just try to get out of it and try to win, but I kind of get a little frustrated.
You can get a little frustrated. Yeah, I can get that way too. Actually, it sometimes is when those unexpected things happen. I understand what you're saying. Another thing that I think is really important about wrestling in general, neurotypical or not, is the ability that this kind of small wrestling community has to be very inclusive. So like when I was growing up, I had friends from all over the state, all over the country. I got to go to a bunch of different places and meet a bunch of different people, and I found that wrestling was very inclusive. You guys found that? You made a lot of buddies throughout
Yeah.
the sport?
Yeah, I've found out, like, if someone wins against you, it's okay. It's a way to make friends. It's a way to learn more. It only means you're getting better.
Yeah, absolutely. But so for instance, I forget the exact tournament. I think we were at Clay High School. You wrestled the boy from Pontevedra.
Yeah.
What's your buddy's name? What's his name? Xander Molsand. His dad is one of the Pontevedra coaches. But it was awesome. As soon as the match was over, I think Levi lost by a point or a very close margin. And as soon as the match was over, both boys hugged, very good sportsmanship. But they started chit-chatting after the match, found out they had some things in common, and all of a sudden Levi's got a buddy that lives over in Jacksonville. And that. Have you found similar? Have you found some buddies through the sport?
Yeah.
Awesome. You want to shout anybody out? How about Coach Jordan? Want to shout out Coach Jordan?
Yeah, for Jordan.
Yeah, we like him?
Yeah.
Pretty good dude, huh?
Yeah.
I like
I want
him.
to shout out to someone named Alexander. He put up a very good match to me, and someone named Jacob. He was a very good match. He has great sportsmanship. He's very humble, and he loses. It's also fun to lose. It's just meaning you're getting better.
Yeah, I was just going to say, when you're talking about winning and losing, everybody wants to win, right? Every match I ever wrestled, I wanted to win, but sometimes I found that the lessons that I learned the most in were the losses. Can you talk about that? Have you ever had a loss that's motivated you to just keep getting better and better and better?
Yeah, I've had a loss where I was happy about it because I did really good at it. It only meant it was just for fun. Wrestling's just a fun sport. It's all for fun. It's just about the fun.
Absolutely. Do you see yourself growing through it? Do you think you're growing as humans and growing as people through the sport?
Yeah.
Like wrestling's helping teach you some good life skills?
Yes.
Awesome.
It's teaching me to or self-control.
Self-control. Anything stick out for you that wrestling's teaching other than how to whoop kids' butts?
Stay calm.
That's important too. Staying calm and emotional control and self-control for anybody really. But
I like to just like calm it down.
do you have any type of routine that, win or lose, do you have any type of routine like after the match, how you calm yourself down? Because like when we go into a wrestling match, it's really high paced. Come off the mat, we're breathing hard. I used to something as simple as this and take 10 deep breaths with my hands over my head, and I would immediately ground me and center me. You guys have any cool routines like that?
To do that, I pray whenever I lose a match or the beginning of a match.
Huh?
I always ask the Lord to stay with me during the match.
Any type of routines you do, even warming up? Is there anything that kind of gets you ready to wrestle? Just take some shots, wrestle.
No, so just kind of try. I mean, I don't have routine. I just warm up.
You just warm up. But is it that, so for me, and I think for a lot of others, it might be a little bit of superstition, but I used to always do the exact same warm up. Like I would kind of like hit my hands and kind of get my head right and that kind of thing. Is your warm up always the same, or do you do different stuff every time? Or just trying to figure out a way to get your body ready to wrestle?
Sometimes I'll try and waltz it.
What is it?
Sometimes I'll try and waltz it to get more calm, get motivated, but also calm yourself down and calm down the sweating.
We got a couple more questions here, and then we're gonna let you guys go. So you touched on confidence earlier. Wrestling, has it made you a more confident person?
Yes, it's made me a much better person than what I became before wrestling. Yeah, I've taught myself motivation. I taught myself whenever you lose, you just warm up and walk back in. You also have to understand that you need time to learn. You need time to get ready for the sport, and you're gonna get hurt, but that's okay.
Gotta push through.
Yeah.
Yep. Great. So there's a sense for a lot of wrestlers. I'm gonna ask Miles this. Do you feel like so let me start over. There's a sense for a lot of wrestlers that being on the wrestling mat is like being at home. Like that's the place we're supposed to be. You guys feel the same way with the sport? Like does wrestling calm you and get you focused and get your mind in a good place? Yeah. How do you feel about that now?
Yeah, just like it burns off stuff.
Yeah. So let's say you were in a bad mood a little bit throughout the day at school or whatever. When you get to wrestling practice, does that kind of go away and you're able to just focus on wrestling?
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm saying. And I think that's a really important thing for everybody. Wrestling has a really cool way of making that the only thing that you're focusing on. Everything else around you kind of disappears, at least for me. Is it the same way for you guys? Where it's just like I can focus on this thing and this thing alone. Yeah.
So, kind of like if I get bullied at school or anything, I'd go to wrestling and I would use that anger and put it to the mat.
So you're channeling it and saying, if I'm getting bullied at school, I'm not going to punch the bully. Instead, I'm going to take it out on my teammates in the wrestling room in a healthy, positive way.
Yeah.
Love that, dude. What about you on that? You just feel like it calms you down a lot.
So I just forget about all those stuff.
Yeah, it makes you just forget about all the other things going on if you can just kind of focus on getting better. I like it. So I'm gonna end and ask you guys one last question. And again, this is an important question for any wrestler. And if you haven't answered this yet, it's really, really important that you answer this for yourselves. But what are your goals for this coming wrestling?
My goals are to become a better wrestler, make more friends, and whenever you make friends, you wrestle with them. Like, say you make friends with a new teammate that just came to wrestling. You teach them to all the things that you've learned, all the sportsmanship that you've learned, like exemplary, being humble.
So your goals for this year have to do with kind of
Helping people out.
helping others.
Mm-hmm.
Again, awesome. I love that answer. As far as like accomplishments on the mat, you want to be a state champ? Do you want to win the spring series? What are you looking for? I know you got some lofty goals with
So
that.
I've got whenever I grow up, I really want to be in the Olympics. I want to achieve my goals by winning like a world title. I want to find some people that I know that they have the things that are in common with me. Like, say, like, they have ADHD or autism like me. Then that's someone I would might be like because they would have some common stuff with me.
Yeah, those are lofty goals, but as your coach, I can tell you that if you keep doing exactly what you're doing right now, you're not far. Those aren't crazy goals. Those are realistic if you just keep working. Miles, what about you, bud? I know this past year you were, what grade are you in this year? 7th grade. So Miles is a 7th grader at Rocky Bayou, and it is a K through 12 charter school. And so junior high wrestlers, 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, because it's a K through 12 campus and all the kids are on the same campus, they allow those kids to then compete at FHSAAs earlier than others. So at Rocky Bayou or Florida High, for example, 6th graders can begin competing in high school. And so Miles this year, as a 7th grader, won a district title, is that correct?
Yeah.
Yep, won a district title, which is a heck of an accomplishment. Made it to the regionals where he lost in what we call the blood round, which is if you win, you go to the state tournament. If you lose, you're out. That's the blood round. And so he lost in the blood round, but remarkable, awesome season. To make it that far as a 7th grader is phenomenal. Do you have goals to make it back to make it to the state tournament next year? Do you want to win a medal at the state tournament? Are you just looking to continue having fun and learning? What type of goals do you have for this coming season, bud?
So my goals is to keep wrestling at tournaments, keep working out,
Yeah.
keep going practices, stronger, put on some muscle. I'm trying to figure out what if I'm gonna be like 120 or 106.
What do you weigh right now? Like 115?
115.
Yeah. So yeah, either 106, 113, something like that.
I really want to work out on my legs. Because, like, I found out my legs aren't that strong, so I want to work out on that. It could also be used for leg riding. It could be used to keep your stance and balance.
Yeah, legs are really important. That's good. That's a nice little goal there as well. So you're looking to maybe put on some muscle, you're thinking, huh?
Yeah. Go to more practices, work out on off days.
All the positive things that you can do to get better at this sport, right?
Yeah. Make it to state.
Make it to the state tournament?
Yeah. Hopefully win.
Yeah, you're gonna win it?
Yeah.
Instead of saying hopefully win it, think of it as when I win it. You'll eventually win it, I think. I don't think either of you are too far off from winning high school state titles.
Yeah.
Just keep doing what you're doing. I've coached Levi for the 2.5 years he's been here. But in that time, I've also gotten to watch 40 or 50 Miles matches. And I'm not with you in the practice room every day. I know Coach Jordan is and a lot of those Niceville guys and Rocky Bayou guys. But I imagine if you just continue to do what you're doing currently that got you this good, this quick, I think really good things are going to happen for you, Miles.
Yeah. So the one I lost, so I lost the first match and the second day of regionals.
Oh, it was before blood round?
Yeah.
I got you. I misspoke, but either way, you're right up there with the best in the region as a 7th grader, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
You guys got any other closing thoughts? Anybody you want to say hello to?
It's the goal to put on some muscle, be a better person. Yeah.
Just keep letting this sport turn you into a good dude, huh?
Yeah.
I like to hear, man. Miles, you got anything? Anybody you want to say hi to? Any teammates you want to shout out? You don't have to.
And I just want to get better at the sport and make the state that.
Yeah, I think you've done too. I think
Shout out to Declan.
you want to shout out to Declan. That's
Declan
one of your
very
training
good.
partners.
It's a very, very good match.
What about
So,
shout out Joey? We're gonna have Joey on here in a little bit to discuss some things as well. Well, gentlemen, it has been awesome sitting down with you. We have the Spring Series Liberty event tomorrow, the Glow in the Dark event. When this releases, it'll actually have happened last week. This won't release till Friday the 25th, I believe. But the 3rd series event is tomorrow, and as always, I'm expecting really big things from these guys. We appreciate you watching, and we hope you learned something through this very, very awesome video. Thanks a lot.